Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to make a video that explains how you can answer the question, why do you want to do BSMD? So this is for people who are applying to BSMD programs, which are 6, 7, or 8-year programs that allow you to do a bachelor's degree and then a medical degree at the same institution, with maybe decreased requirements for the MCAT or for GPA, and it kind of gives you a little bit of an insurance that you will become a doctor. Um, so I think that if you're applying to BSMD programs, then one of the most common questions you're going to get, and I'm saying this from experience of having applied to and been accepted to BSMD programs, as well as being applied to and being accepted to MD programs, is, why do you want to do a BSMD program? And you're going to be asked this in interviews, and you're going to be asked this in essays. And so it's really important to be able to answer this question really well and really thoroughly, because if you're able to do that, you're going to be better than 99 to 100% of the people who are applying and trying to answer this and struggling to answer this. So the first thing you want to do is you want to highlight your passion for medicine, because ultimately what they mean by asking why do you want to do BSMD is why do you want to do the MD part of your BSMD? Why do you want to restrict your options and make sure that you want to do the doctor thing? And so you want to highlight your passion for medicine by emphasizing the clinical experiences that you've had. Um, so explain the story of how you got interested in medicine over time. So when was the first time you had a interaction with somebody in the hospital? When was the first time that you got involved in research? When was the first time you got really interested in biology? When was the first time that you started to like the field of medicine? When was the first time you shadowed somebody? What was your kind of thought process and experience? And what I'd recommend is you kind of free write about this question, which is what was your story of getting interested in medicine? And if you can kind of describe that story and describe how you got interested in medicine, it's going to make this answer so much easier, because you're going to be able to answer why do you want to do BSMD with why do you want to be a doctor, right? So that's the first part of the answer, which is why do I want to be a doctor? And so if I was answering this, I would say, well, why do I want to do BSMD? For the first part, I really enjoyed my clinical interaction in the hospital, as evidenced by XYZ, and tell some stories and say that I'm really, really passionate about being a doctor. And then I would hammer down on why a BSMD program is the best fit for me, is the best route pathway for me. And so that's what I have second. So the first thing is highlight your passion for medicine. Second thing is explain why BSMD is the right path for you. And you want to show that it's the best fit for your academic and career goals. Some examples of this is, it's maybe going to allow you to do something in an accelerated timeline. You probably won't have to take any gap years, which is huge for, saving money and kind of going straight through. You might be 100% sure that you want to be a doctor, and so you kind of want to choose a pathway that kind of guarantees that you'll be able to build up your application during your pre-medical years, your preclinical years. You can talk about maybe being able to do more research during your college time, because you'll kind of already have this acceptance that, will take off a lot of pressure of trying to get into medical school. You can talk about how it's a lot less stressful once you get into a BSMD program about getting into MD, because you already have that slot. You can talk about how you want to devote more time in the hospital and kind of devote more time in clinical experiences that you might not be able to get if you were a traditional applicant. Or whatever it is, you might want to talk about, you're really excited by the BSMD program that you are applying to. Like there are specific opportunities that are eligible. A lot of times, if you're a BSMD student at a college and you're in your BS part and you tell people you're a BSMD student, it makes it a little bit easier to get hospital opportunities, because, the doctors and nurses already know that you're really serious and committed toward getting the MD. And so this is kind of why the BSMD program might be right for you. Okay, the third is you might want to discuss your long-term career goals. So if you're really interested in some specific aspect of medicine, like rural medicine, patient advocacy, politics, things like that, this is not really a required thing, but if that is the case for you, like let's say you grew up in a rural area and you know for sure that you want to do some rural form of medicine, and that specific BSMD program will help you become the doctor that you want to be, then that could be a good reason. You might want to highlight some of the benefits of the program that you're applying to. So if you highlight the fact that you're going to get early clinical exposure, the fact that you might get research opportunities at a young age, the fact that you might get mentorship through that program, community service, if you get any of these kind of opportunities through your BSMD program, and that's something that they advertise, that's totally something you can write about in your BSMD application. You can discuss your academic and personal program that has made you really prepared for the BSMD program and has kind of made you really excited by the BSMD program. So if you've done, a lot of cell biology research and you want to do a lot of cell biology research in undergrad and in med school, you can talk about how the BSMD program will facilitate your academic goals of doing more cell biology, basic science, clinical basic science research. And so that could be a really good reason to want to do BSMD program. You could discuss your commitment to the program. So maybe at the end, you could explain that, there's a lot of benefits of doing the BSMD program and that you will absolutely hammer down and take advantage of all the opportunities that are offered. You'll work really hard. You'll continue your high school trajectory and you'll make the most of your time within your BS years of your BSMD. Um, you can discuss your fit with the program. So if they advertise any sort of thing where they're looking for specifically people who are really interested in primary care, or they're really interested in people who love research, things like that, then that could be a great way to demonstrate fit with the program. And then finally, you can kind of discuss any unique factors of a BSMD program. So if there's something about that location, something about the specific curriculum at the med school, maybe they have a 1.5 year preclinical time instead of 2 year clinical time, that could be interesting. Maybe they have a research program where you can do research in your summertime and you can get stipends for it. That could be really good. Maybe there's a lab that you're really interested in working in, and that's only offered at the BSMD program. These are all really great ways to demonstrate that you're really interested in their program. So, if I had to summarize everything, it would basically be one, use your clinical experiences to show your story of getting interested in medicine. So, that's the first thing you do, is kind of tell your story about why you want to be a doctor. The second thing is share why the BSMD pathway is the right path for you to become a doctor. Or maybe I should say, become the best doctor you can be. And so if you can do these two things, right, you do these two things and you will be solid for your application. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. If this was helpful, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, everybody. Bye.